Welcome to the Knitting Diaries, episode 22, I think. My name is Kjersti and I knit. Occasionally I crochet, but this time I only knitted. And if you're new to my channel, welcome! There's been a few of you lately that potentially have not seen the Knitting Diaries, but I do them because I knit and I want to show it off because why not? And I'm also a little short on time possibly today, so I'm sorry if it feels I'm rushing through. That will be the case because I still live with my parents. If you didn't know, I'm living with my parents. I have been looking at houses and I'm gonna tell you about it, just not today. That will be for another video, hopefully while doing a puzzle. Fingers crossed for that. The first thing I did, which is like more than a month ago now, and it might look familiar if you watched my last Knitting Diaries, which is, more than a month ago, I think. Because then I knitted this one. But I spent 3 days knitting this one, which is almost the exact same, but there's a little bit of a size difference. And as usual, I don't know exactly what you see because I don't have a flip out screen. So I'm like guesstimating approximately where my face is. You should be able to see it. So yeah, size not the same. And the tops, or how the pattern is ended, this is the first one I made, and I wasn't exactly, and it got like, I don't know how well it shows off on camera, but yeah. And also it's a hat. I don't wear a lot of hats, but I had some yarn, so but it got weird on top, so I figured I want to try to do it slightly different. And let me show you the yarn. This is the yarn. And also, like, the focus on my camera, it's good. It takes a little while, and I never know exactly. So I'm gonna try. Did I get blurry? I don't know. But that's the yarn. And I used 4.5 millimeter needles. And the top, if you imagine a head in here, I mean, look at the top. I hope you can see. I hope it shows off on camera, but it's get like really weird unless you like really stretch it out. But yeah, it is thick yarn and I like the pattern. What do you think about the pattern? I like it. And the reason for the weird top is, well, I didn't exactly have a pattern, so I had an idea and I went with it. So yeah, I have 2 hats. I'm not fully happy with either. This one, the first one, is simply too small. It's not long enough. This one is long enough, but as I said, if you don't fill it out completely, the top gets, I need a ball of yarn, I get it, but it's still gonna look really weird. So I might have to undo this to, do it again, because yeah, that's not gonna be the only thing I have to do again this time. So when I was done with that, I looked through the small amount of yarn I currently have access to, and I found this yarn. And yet again, I hope you can see it. I don't know. Where is the camera focusing? And then I thought, okay, I don't have enough yarn for another hat. I don't have enough yarn for another pair of socks because I've used this yarn for a pair of socks. And I didn't feel like wrist warmers, so I tried a headband. Looks good, there is one small issue. I knitted in a round and I sewed it together before I tried it on, and it looks pretty stretchy, and parts of it is more stretchy. Let's see. Okay, where did I sew together? Okay, the part where I didn't sew together, pretty stretchy. The part where I sewed together, not so stretchy. Can't stretch it. Which means I can't fit it on my head because of where I sewed it together. It's just simple 1x1 ribbing, one knit, one purl. But because of I could make a stretchy bind off, but it won't help because I don't know how to make a stretchy cast on. So yeah, I can't fit it on my head. You know, have that like line where I started, that it's, yeah. So even though I completely finished it, it's not good enough because it can't fit it on the head. Literally, I'm not going to show you. You just have to take my word for it. But I tried. And I was like, yep, this is not working. I don't have the biggest head. I don't have the smallest head either. But yeah, no. So I have to undo this, which sucks because I wove in all the ends. And I've gotten pretty good at weaving in ends. So I have to somehow find it, and that's gonna be, oh wait, I think I found it. I should probably put something here to know. No, I can feel it. It's actually easier to feel it. Wow, okay, but yeah, I have to undo this because it can't fit on the head. So that's a great thing. I don't even know, is it possible to make a stretchy cast on? I mean, I don't know. If you know, please let me know down in the comment section because apparently I need it. It's not the only thing I need. And this was super quick. As I said, I knitted in a round, and then yeah, I spent a total of 4 days on this, which is surprising because I only spent 3 days making this. Yeah, maybe I was busy doing something else too. Not knitting, because I like to knit one thing at a time. But yeah, I knit a headband. It's soft, it's nice. It can't fit a head. That's unfortunate. So I don't know if I'm gonna do the exact same thing again, just like try to find a way to make a stretchy cast on or something. Or if I'm gonna unravel it and do something else. I don't know. We'll see. At some point in the future. But when I was done with that, since I made 2 red hats that I was not crazy about, I found this yarn. And sometimes I wonder why I'm showing you this. And other times I'm like, is that what you were supposed to do? I don't know. Do you like me trying to show you the yarn even though you might not be able to see it? Either way, after making the 2 red hats, I was like, oh, but I have white yarn too, so I made a white hat. And it has a little bit of the same with the top, that it gets like pointy and weird, but it's better. And I do have a little bit more yarn, so I think I'm gonna make a dusk. I don't know the English word. But you know, like the fluffy puff balls basically that you make on top that looks cute. Yeah, I want to make that and put that on this, and then it should fit. Or not look too weird on top because you have the ball of fluffy yarn on top. But yeah. And can you tell? I like this pattern. Do you like it? I hope you like it. And I mean, in a way, it doesn't matter if you like it or not. I did it. I made it. I like it. That's what matters. It looks pretty. Don't you think? I mean, as I said, this is a video to show off what I've been doing. And yeah. And yeah, totally forgot. For this, I used needle 3mm. And it was just 130 stitches in a round. So, super easy. Such, like, when you don't need, or when you used your brain so much that you feel like you need to turn it off, but you still want your hands to do something, this might be it. Except, you know, the fact that you can't use it. That sucks. For this yarn, I used 3.5 millimeter needles, and I knitted this one top down. I think I knitted, yeah, probably should mention that. I'm so out of this, but it's been a while since my last knitting diaries. Both the red hats were knitted from bottom up. This one was knitted top down. And I find myself enjoying that, because then I'm better at, yeah, like the casting on stitches tend to be a little non-stretchy. I don't know the English word. Right now I can't even remember the Norwegian word, so, you know, that's the thing. Yeah, 3.5 millimeter needle. I spent a total of many days. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, no, 7 days. So I spent a week doing this hat. Alright. Pretty good, in my opinion. Am I going the right way? Yeah. I have my handy dandy notebook. Always. This is where I write down all the things that I do when I knit. And when you know, I cross it out if it doesn't work and I regret my choices, so to speak. So yeah, and then I used yarn that I've used before because that's what I do. It's a wool yarn, like the white and the red is 100% wool. The multicolored is 25/75, I think. Yeah, 75 wool and 25% polyamide. This yarn is 100% merino wool. No, actually it's not. I'm just kidding. Sorry about that. This is 80% wool and 20% nylon. And it is not really, well, it's soft, but it's a little itchy. I'm like, I don't do well with itchy. And I knitted a pair of wrist warmers. And I'm going to show you real quick because I can't wear them too long because me and wool itches. It's not too much of a pattern, but I really like them. In fact, I kind of knitted them so they look like this. And it's dark, so I have no idea whether you can see the pattern well or not. But then I turned them to weaving the ends, and I realized I like this side better, so I left that out. So yeah, I knitted a pair of wrist warmers. We're back on that. Sort of. I mean, I used 50, hold on, notebook, 56 stitches in a round. Needles were 3.5 millimeter needles. They're really soft. And the bonus of these, I haven't been able to meet up with the person yet, but I actually have a buyer for these. So that's gonna be amazing. I will get money, she will get a pair of wrist warmers, and I will get something out of the house that I won't need to bring when I move, whatever that is. The deadline is coming up, so keep your fingers crossed I'm finding a house soon. But yeah, I have a pair that in a way is no longer for sale because they have someone has said that they wanted them, which is great for me. I just need to, we need to find a date to make delivery, which is sometimes hard. People are busy. But after I did that, I was like, okay, I want something nice and soft, and I had the perfect yarn for nice and soft. Drops Baby Merino. It is a superwash, but it's merino wool. Can you see all the information? Can you see? I don't know. Anyway, this yarn, I love this yarn. It is so soft. I just want to cuddle with this yarn because it's so soft. I love soft in general. Soft is a good thing. And I had this idea. I wasn't sure if I had enough yarn. And I was thinking, oh, I'm just gonna do another headband, and then I realized I have too much yarn for a headband, but I might not have enough for what I want. So this one is something I really enjoyed, and I have it on, what do you call it in English? Trying on tubing? Stitch keeper or whatever. Making a hat. It looks really weird when I do it like this. I started in one end because I was like, oh, okay, so it's too much yarn to make a headband, so I'm gonna make a hat. And then I got like about here, and I was like, oh, I have so much more yarn. Maybe it's gonna be enough, so I can make one with a pattern. I could just make a double one. Yeah, not quite, because I ran out of yarn, and I have like this much left, or this much knitting left, because I ran out of yarn. And isn't it a cute pattern? I call it the strawberry hat, and I really like it. And yeah, I know it doesn't quite match up, but it is so soft, and it sucks that I didn't have enough yarn. And I have like, you know, this kind of thing about not buying too much yarn, which means I have a confession coming, but you know, that happens. Are you still filming? I hope so. Oh, and I need to get something. I'm gonna tell you more about this in a moment. Give me a sec. Alright, so I was telling you about my strawberry hat. And no, there is no pattern, it's just, it was an idea that was in my head. And I wanted a double one because I was thinking, if I make it just like this, it's not gonna warm the ears enough. I'm obsessing about having warm enough ears because during this winter, my ears have not always been warm enough, and that has led to a lot of pain in the ears, and I hated it. So it's very important to keep your ears warm enough in winter. But this one, love the pattern, love the yarn, didn't have enough, well, yarn for finishing. So I put it on this to, well, basically show it off, and also try it on to see if it, like, how the size was, and it was fairly decent, but could have been a little bit bigger. And, you know, I didn't even have enough yarn for this. So this will be ripped out along with certain other things. So that's but I mean, I didn't have a pattern, and I didn't know how to, like, I knew how to make a start with a 4, like, raglan start, basically with 4, but I did not know how to, hold on, such a mess. I didn't know how to make like a round finish on top. I had no idea. I've never done that before, so that was interesting, but I think I did a fairly good job here. So sad, but it needs to be ripped out, but I learned a lot. I mean, that's the thing. When you haven't done something before and then you do it, you can learn a lot. So when I'm done filming, I can finally use this yarn again because I'm gonna rip it out. It's been waiting on me for a while now, you know, to doing the ripping out thing. And I spent, wow, not more. I only spent 7 or 8 days. Math is hard. So I spent 8 days doing this. So I'm surprised. I didn't realize how quick that had been. But it's so, I mean look at it. This, hold on. This part here is just, it's basic stockinette. After you do the increases, that is just basic stockinette. And then I had a little stretch of ribbing before I did the strawberries. But it's so cute. I love it. I want to do it again. So, when I was done with that, I was like, oh, I'm starting to run out of yarn. I did have a little bit more yarn of this, so I made another pair, exactly the same, almost. It's a one pattern taller, longer. Oh, I forgot the needle sizes again. No, 3.5 on this, and I didn't write it. Oh no, I did 3mm on this yarn. But yeah, this is slightly bigger than this. So yeah, 2 pairs. I don't know if that person that wants 1 pair would like to buy 2 pairs. I mean, keep your fingers crossed for me. So maybe, I don't know. I haven't asked her. So, but she does like blue. So maybe keep your fingers crossed for me. Maybe I can buy and sell 2 pairs. That would have been amazing. Didn't really have much to add. It's not a pattern. It's from my head, which technically is a pattern. It's just the pattern is in my head and on these, and that's it. Let's see. Where were we? Yeah, I spent 4 days on these, so they're fairly quick, and I had other things going on too. I mean, the last week I've been sick. That has not been fun. So, yeah. Almost done. Next thing is super exciting. And also here is my confession, because I feel like I'm starting to run out of kind of usable yarn. And by that I mean yarn that I have access to that are in bigger quantities than, you know, less than a ball of yarn. And a ball of yarn is 50 grams. So having a buyer for these that I haven't met up with yet, I was like, I'm gonna get a little bit of money in so I can spend a little bit of money. Didn't quite work out how I intended, because I intended to get the money in before I spent it. Didn't happen. But I didn't spend it. So, and in my defense, these were bought on sale. A good sale. 25 Norwegian kroners for each ball of yarn, and I bought 4 because I had an idea. I mean, I love this hat and I really want to make a hat, and these are merino wool, super soft, so I was like, I can make something happen here. I can make a hat. So I did. I used 2 balls of yarn. I haven't woven in the ends because when I was done, I realized, how in the world am I going to weave in the ends? So yeah, it's a double layered one. I started here and did like, how am I going to even show you? Like a raglan with 4, can you even tell? Raglan with 4 increases, then stockinette, and then I did a longer brim than I did on the right, on the green. But then you just, you know, it's a little tricky. And no, I haven't blocked anything. That's a thing that doesn't happen a lot. I don't block things most of the time. And yeah, this is almost 2 balls of yarn. This is the rest, and I haven't woven in the end. I haven't even cut the yarn. But yeah, hold on. Okay, it will be better when I weave in the ends and block it and all. But yeah, it's a strawberry hat, but in light blue. And I think I did, I don't know, and besides, it's not gonna like have people look on top of your head. But that's how the top is with the yarn, or with the pattern, and I really like it. And currently the pattern is on my notepad and in my head. I would love to try to write a pattern for this because I love it so much. And I mean, it took less than 2 balls of yarn. And my intention was, I'm gonna make a hat, which I have. I just need to weave in the ends, and there are ends inside here because I had to switch yarn that I have not woven in. So I was like, oh, didn't think that one through, did I? Yeah, I didn't. I mean, when I was like halfway done, I could have woven in the end that I started with and where I switched the yarn, that wouldn't have been a problem if I had thought about it earlier, which I did not. My bad. But I have learned and I will do that the next time. But also, like, how am I gonna be able to weave in this end? I want it to be, like, you know, invisible. So I haven't quite figured that one yet, which is also why I haven't cut the yarn. But I like how it ended up, and I think it's really, really pretty. And the intention was that I make a hat and that I make a pair of gloves, you know, with fingers. And gloves are potentially, I mean, like, I think they're called gloves. I mean, I didn't want to make mittens. I wanted to make gloves, like, for one free. Do you get what I mean? I think they're called gloves. Like, not the mittens when you do like this, but like gloves. I feel like a moron trying to explain it to you. Anyway, I was like, oh, I have 2 balls of yarn. I can make gloves. And then I started to think about it. It's like, but the fingers. I mean, I've knitted a couple of pairs of mittens before. I used a pattern from a book, and the thumbs were not fun. I did not like knitting the thumbs. I hated knitting the thumbs. And I'm thinking that I'm gonna knit gloves. I mean, I hated knitting a thumb. Gloves, you need 5 fingers, all of them. Yeah, I'm starting to not regret the choice to buy 4 balls of yarn, but I don't know. Do I really wish myself that much harm so I would try to knit a pair of gloves? Or should I just knit another hat? The exact same. I mean, the likelihood of me keeping all of this, slim to none. The likelihood of me wanting to sell all of it is pretty much 100%. So I could just knit another hat. What do you think? Should I try gloves? Because that will be single colored gloves. Potentially try with a little pattern, like, you know, on top of the hand. Potentially not, because I've never knitted gloves before. Or should I just give in to myself and enjoy myself and knit another hat? Because I really, really loved knitting this hat. It was so much fun. So what do you think? Let me know down in the comment section. Should I go for a pair of gloves that I'm realizing I don't really want to do, or should I just knit another hat that I really do want to do? So take a pick. Help me out with choosing. And what else do you need of information? Yeah, I used a 3mm needle, and I loved working with this yarn. Did I show you the that probably? I don't know. Hold on. Can you see properly? I don't know. But I loved knitting this hat, and I loved working with the yarn. And the yarn was on sale. I don't think they're gonna stop doing the yarn, but I think they might stop doing this color. But it's such a pretty color. Why on earth would they stop with this color? It's such a pretty color. I mean, yeah. So, yeah, that was not it. I knitted more because, you know, I'm a little crazy sometimes. And also, it's been a long time since my last Knitting Diaries. I had a ball of this yarn. I don't think you could get this yarn anymore. I bought it, I don't know, many years ago. Potentially in 2016, which means I've had this yarn for almost 8 years. Or at least 7.5. So maybe it's not that surprising that you can't get it anymore. Anyway, I've shown you this yarn at some time before because I knitted a pair of wrist warmers. I mean, what else is new? That is definitely not new. Hold on, let me show you. yet again. And this, oh wait, I should probably tell you, I have a pattern for these. These are my wrist warmers. It's very, very soft yarn, and it's a fairly easy pattern. And I've put it up on Ravelry for free because it's my first pattern ever that I've wrote, and I haven't had anyone test knit it, so that's the thing. But yeah, these are just cute shorties. I mean, my mom has a pair in light pink and she's used them a lot. She got them for Christmas from me. So yeah, but that was it. And yeah, I felt like, no wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing here. Hold on. Yeah, I was sick, so these took me forever. These tiny little things, I spent more than a week, actually a week and a half. So yeah, and I used 3.5mm needles. But yeah, I have, hold on, can we put everything together? And this is the random assortment of stuff that I knitted since the last Knitting Diaries. So basically 3 pairs of wrist warmers, a headband, and 4 hats. Almost. I mean, the green one never finished, but not because I didn't want to. That was a lack of yarn. But yeah, what do you think? Did I do enough since the last Knitting Diaries? I mean, I think I did enough. But yeah, I hope you have enjoyed this video and help me out with choosing. Should I try gloves or should I just give in to my desires and knit another hat? And also, how on earth do you weave in the last end when you only have the outsides and no real access to the insides? I don't know. Help me out. If you got any good ideas, let me know. Yeah, that was it. That was the Knitting Diaries for this time. I hope I can do this more often, but still living with my parents, so I don't know. But I am looking for a house. So I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope you will come back and watch other videos and interact with me in the comment section because I love that. And thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!